Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Don't live with your head in the sand. Look, I'm gonna be real. One thing I've seen with a lot of people, their heads are in the sand. It's like, are you paying attention to what's going on around you, just to the world? You know, and it don't mean you like paying attention to what's happening globally or something. Just a simple thing of what's happening around you, what's happening out in the streets, what's the reality. See, here's a problem with a lot of people just going through life. Many people live in a bubble. Many people live in a bubble, and it's not a bubble that was created by the theys, whatever you want to call, the guy behind the curtain, the bad guys, the elite. A lot of times the theys didn't create it. They didn't create your bubble. You created your bubble. You created because a lot of people choose on certain things to close their eyes to it or to plug their ears up, saying la, 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 la. You trying to tell them some real stuff or they see something right in front of them. And the reason why people create a bubble because, a bubble's comfortable. Let's just be real. A bubble is comfortable. A bubble is comfortable. You can just sit back and, you can ignore all the bad stuff around you, even within your own households, families. You might have a kid that's how they start developing that bubble. They're in a dysfunctional environment and they just start screening out some stuff. And, I can understand why they would to protect themselves, but that doesn't mean they still not in a bad environment. Or, you see some stuff on a job or some negative stuff and it's like you don't want to believe it because it might be coming from someone who you actually like or care for, or, you see some negative stuff on a job, you still need that money or something or stuff in your neighborhood and, you can't just pick up and move. And there's a lot of little things, right? And you don't want to believe it. And then a lot of people there's a lot of people who create a fantasy world. They create a fantasy reality. They are so much into that reality that they only pay attention to things that validate that reality or support that reality. But then they miss out on something else. It was like, or even in a relationship, somebody could see they have a partner who's just bad, but their heads are in the sand. You can't live like that. One of the things, like it or not, you still got to interact with the world and you got to be realistic. You got to see what's going on. Like I say, and when I say the world, it don't mean that you paying attention to what's happening on the other side of the world. Though, if you can, you really should, because it could affect you, right, in some weird way. You're not even thinking about it. Because let me just say this, we're connected in this world. We're connected. So some minor thing that happens in some place on the planet that's unknown to you could come back to harm you in a way. It could be some product that you use or that you need is actually created in that part of the world. And because of some upheaval in that part of the world, it can make the product scarce or something. And then it'll come back and affect you. And you like, well, how did this happen? Because of something else. So we're all connected, right? But at the very least, you need to know what's going on in your immediate environment. That's the world, because that could affect you. If you're living in a neighborhood and has a drug problem with many of the residents, that could affect you. You need to pay attention to it. You need to pay attention the behavior of the people you have relationships with. And not just a romantic relationship. Like every contact you have is a relationship. Even like some casual hi buddy, you just see him someplace hi. That's a relationship. That could affect you. You got to pay attention. You got to keep your eyes open. Like those who more into street life, they'll say you got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to see what's going on. Indeed, let me use that street life thing for an example. One thing I've noticed about people Men and women who grew up in the streets, they'll be quiet, but they see everything. I remember there was a young lady who grew up in a negative environment, but she was working hard to get out of it. But because we worked on the same job, and I remember saying to her, I said, you're that type who just see everything. She's like, yeah. She was real humble and quiet about it, but she paid attention to everything. Her head wasn't in the sand. And see, one of the things, right, it's more, if you keep your head, you pay attention to the world you in, keep your head out the sand, it's actually something that empowers you. It really is. It's something that can empower you. And what do I mean when I say that, empower? You can see what's happening. You can see stuff. I'll just speak for myself. I pay attention to everything I see because you never know how it can help you. There's times I'll be out, I might see a store that's selling products I could use or something. I see something that gives me an idea. It might just simply give me an idea of what to talk about. Or, it could be something that could empower you. It could be a job. I never forget, there was a time, even though I had the business going, I needed to get a job to help with it, to bring in steady money. So I just went out and I actually hit the pavement and came back that day with 2 jobs, because I just looked around and one of the jobs was at a gym. And just by looking around while driving, I saw the gym. It was sitting kind of back and I saw it. I was like, oh, let me stop in there. You can see what's happening. It can empower you. You never know. You might find that job. You might find that store that you need. I don't know. You might even find some place that you might ultimately meet that quality mate that you've always been looking for just by keeping your eyes open. And that's very, very powerful. But you can't if you're in a bubble. If your head is in the sand, you're not paying attention because it disempowers you. You think, and really it don't protect you. It don't protect you because something will happen and because your head was in the sand, you'll miss it. So it don't protect you. It don't empower you. So it's like, look, you can't go through life with your head in the sand. Get it out. Get it out. Pay attention. See what's around you. Look around. In fact, it makes life just more interesting. You can't go through life with fear. You got to be willing to pay attention to everything. All right? So that's all I have for today. I want y'all to learn from that. Think about that. And I want everybody to keep rising and transforming. Peace and blessings.